Folk Studio 451 is proud to present Pioneer History of Orleans County, New York by Arad Thomas, edited and annotated by A. Burris. Chapter 9. The Erie Canal. Digging began with the middle section of the canal near Utica on July 4, 1817. Construction was slow as the workers blasted through mountainous terrain and dense rock. But by November 1823, the eastern part of the canal was sufficiently completed, allowing boats from Rochester to reach Albany simultaneously, with boats traveling from Lake Champlain through the Champlain Canal. On October 26, 1825, the Erie Canal was officially completed. Governor DeWitt Clinton led a fleet of boats from Buffalo to New York Harbor in just 8 days for the Grand Canal celebration. At the harbor, Clinton ceremoniously poured Lake Erie water into New York Harbor, symbolically wetting the waters. Despite being only 4 feet deep and 40 feet wide, the canal was a significant engineering achievement spanning nearly 400 miles and featuring 83 locks to manage different water levels. No part of New York State has benefited more from the Erie Canal than Orleans County. Although the soil was fertile and productive and yielded abundant crops to reward the farmer's toil, its inland location and great difficulty of transporting produce to market rendered it of little value at home. Settlers who had located here in many instances had become discouraged. Others who desired to emigrate to the Genesee country were kept back by the gloomy accounts they got of life in the wilderness, with little prospect of easy communication with the old eastern states to cheer the hope. As soon as the canal became navigable, Holley, Albion, Knowlesville, and Medina, villages on its banks, were built up. Actual settlers took up all the unoccupied lands and cleared them up. No more speculators were buying large tracts of land to leave them undeveloped, waiting for market prices to rise. The lumber of the county now found a ready market and floated away. Wheat was worth 4 times as much as the price for which it had been previously selling. Prosperity came in on every hand. The mud dried up, and the mosquitoes, the ague, the fever, and the bears left the county. Farmers paid for their lands, surrendered their articles, and took deeds from the company. Good barns, framed houses, and houses of brick and stone began to be built as the common dwellings of inhabitants. The good time coming, which the first settlers could not see but waited for with a faint and dreamy but persistent hope, had come indeed. The price of land rose rapidly, making many wealthy, who happened to locate farms in desirable places, from the rise in value of their lands. From this time forward, rich men from the eastern states and older settlements began to come in and buy out the farms and improvements from those who had begun in the woods. The original settlers now found themselves, like Cooper's leather socking, lost in the clearing, and wished to move further out, closer to the borders of civilization, where the hunting and fishing were better, and where the ruder institutions, manners, and customs of frontier life, to which they had become attached, were better enjoyed among like-minded individuals. The removal of shade trees dried up the mud. The construction of substantial bridges over streams and the development of leveled and graveled highways, made possible by the growing population and their resources, created a demand for new types of carriages to transport these now self-sufficient farmers and their families. People had been content to travel to the mill, attend meetings, visit socially, or participate in quilting frolics using an ox-sled. However, as progress, pride, and ambition grew, horses and lumber wagons gradually replaced oxen and sleds as the common means of transportation. A buggy was no more known or used than a balloon in those wagon days, and when the canal was first made navigable, there was probably not a one-horse buggy in Orleans County. Indeed, several years after boats began trips on the canal, merchants R.S. and L. Burroughs brought on 6 or 8 one-horse wagons and put them on sale. They had been manufactured in Connecticut and had wooden springs under the seats. People were amazed and frequently commented on the luxury, comfort, and ease of riding in these small, rattling, jolting machines.
Learn more about this series at pioneerhistory.us.